Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin is still playing out this short-term bullish divergence, but is now once again retesting this crucial level on the price chart. So in just a moment, I'll be sharing my exact Bitcoin trading strategy, sharing with you exactly how I'm planning to make a lot of profits from the next Bitcoin move happening very soon, while Ethereum is still currently retesting this crucial level of support and now bouncing from this important level of support here after perfectly rejecting from this short-term resistance, while the price of XRP is also now retesting a crucial area of support, still playing out this bullish divergence. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off on the weekly Bitcoin price chart, and the super trend indicator is still sitting in the green, indicating a larger bull market. But on this weekly Bitcoin price chart here, we still have this massive bearish divergence to watch out for, telling us to not expect significant bullish momentum on the larger time frames for most likely the next month or so is a very likely scenario. And so ultimately expect at best a sideways consolidation, quite possibly a bit more of a pullback within the next 1 month or so. But if we're taking a look at the daily Bitcoin price chart right now, we're at the edge of possibly starting to diverge in this fractal from what we saw last time. Because obviously, as I've been talking about for a while now on the channel, we have very similar price action right now to what we saw near the end of 2024 entering into early 2025. But the point where that will start to change and flip back into the bullish direction would be if we actually confirm a breakout with at least a daily candle close confirming above around 110,500, which is this line right here. What we saw last time was a retest of that line, but we never confirmed a breakout back above that line. We actually rejected from that line, flipping it into new resistance, and ultimately continued a much larger pullback over the next few weeks. And so once again, the point where that would potentially start to change is if we see a confirmed breakout back above this line, once again at roughly 110.5k. So right now, we've not yet confirmed a breakout above that line with a candle close above that line and holding above that line. But right now, obviously, we're getting very close and currently seeing another retest of that crucial level on the price chart. And so this is definitely a crucial test to pay attention to in the next few days or so, as we're still currently testing this level, not yet confirming a rejection or confirming a breakout, at least as of right now. So just something to pay attention to, something to watch and stand by, but still on the larger time frames, expect a larger cool off over the next 1 month is a very likely scenario. And if we're taking a look at the short term on the 6-hour time frame, we technically still have a short term bullish divergence, which is still currently active. So we can see the price of Bitcoin continuing to play out either slight bullish relief or choppy sideways price action. It's the most common outcomes from a bullish divergence. But as always, we cannot ignore important points of resistance where the price could likely reject from or struggle at. So while the price is trying to play out the bullish divergence, trying to play out these bullish reliefs, the moment we hit this point of resistance right here, my exact level of resistance, we perfectly reject at this level, or especially this level right here. Once again, 110.5k, and this horizontal resistance here is at just under 112k, really in between around 111.7k to 112k. And so what I continue to predict moving forward for the price of Bitcoin is the same sort of price action that we've already been seeing over the last few days. So the price trying to play out the bullish divergence, running to resistance, struggling, and ultimately forming some choppy sideways price action. And obviously, if you're simply just holding Bitcoin, spot Bitcoin in a cold wallet, or if you're in an over leveraged long position or over leveraged short position, that's not ideal to hear. Obviously, if you're holding spot Bitcoin, choppy sideways price action does nothing for you. The price is basically at the same level as it was back here, for example. If you're in an over leveraged long position or over leveraged short position with very, very high leverage, obviously on little moves like this, you could get completely wiped out. But simply just by following my trading strategy, as always, not financial advice, but literally looking at my trading strategy, it's making very easy and passive profits in this market right now. Basically, for as long as we just bounce around like this, whether we go down or up, it doesn't matter. For as long as we see some volatility and ultimately a bounce after seeing any sort of drawdown, this trading strategy makes very easy and passive profits. Because basically, it's a Bitcoin trading bot called a grid bot, and essentially it has buy orders towards the downside, sell orders towards the upside. So if the price of Bitcoin drops, it buys Bitcoin at lower prices. If the price of Bitcoin pumps, it sells that Bitcoin at those higher prices. So it automatically buys low, sells high, and it has a lot of orders here. So the moment we see any little dip or any little bounce, it makes profit on all of these orders right here. And because it's a trading bot, it's fully automated. So it basically places the orders again as soon as the orders get hit. And we can see that in total, this trading bot of mine has basically made easily over 1,000 USD in profits and already secured almost 200 USD in realized profits from basically hitting these buy and sell orders during this volatility. And once again, this trading strategy is fully automated, which means it's basically passive income. I set it up once, and while the price remains in this larger range right here of buy and sell orders, it continues to make profits passively. And so overall, those are my expectations and predictions for Bitcoin in the shorter term and the slightly mid to longer term, and my exact trading strategy, sharing with you exactly how I'm planning to make easy profits in this crypto market from this next Bitcoin movement about to happen very soon. And also, if you want to copy my trading strategy, as always, no guarantees, not financial advice, but if you do want to copy it, there will be a link below the video. In fact, the second link below the video will take you to this page right here, where you can simply just click one single button and copy my current trading strategy. And you can see that this trading strategy has been running for almost a week now, about 6 days now, and I've been sharing it every day over the last 6 days or so here on the channel. You can check any one of my videos over the last 6 days, and you can see this trading strategy working very nicely. You can see the profits for yourself. But in order to actually copy this trading strategy, because it's on my Pinex account, you need to actually have a Pinex account, obviously, in order to copy this trading strategy. And you have to actually make the Pinex account using one of the links below the video in order to actually copy this trading strategy if you want to. Obviously, if you don't use one of the links below the video to make your Pinex account, this copy button just simply will not work. And in fact, if you use the first link below the video to Pinex, that link will take you to this page right here, where you can claim massive bonuses as well, just by making an account, making deposits, etc. So for example, if you make an account, complete KYC, you get a 50 USDT bonus, or if you get deposit bonuses here. So for example, if you deposit, you get a 100 USDT bonus for just a $100 deposit, or if you deposit 10,000, you get a 1,000 USDT bonus onto your Pinex account. Basically free money from the exchange just by simply depositing crypto and also completing KYC if you want to get that 50 USDT bonus. Once again, free money from the exchange just by simply doing that, making an account. But once again, all of this right here is only available if you're using the link below the video to actually make your Pinex account. So if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well take advantage of this free money from the exchange right here. And on top of that, once again, if you want to copy this trading strategy, you have to use the link below this video. And if we're taking a quick look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, we can see that right now we still have a lot of liquidity building above the price of Bitcoin at roughly 114,000 and also at roughly 116,000. So those are still some price targets to pay attention to, where the price of Bitcoin could potentially start moving towards that liquidity, because usually, not always, but usually the price of Bitcoin tends to move towards where we have a lot of liquidity. But once again, keep in mind, I want to make this clear, between the current price and those higher levels of liquidity, those higher price targets, we have a lot of resistance that we need to be aware of, where the price could potentially struggle at or reject from. And so that's why I continue to expect basically choppy sideways price action like this is a very likely scenario moving forward, at least in the short term, for the price of Bitcoin, which once again is great for my current trading strategy. But if you want to place other short positions and long positions once we see another trade set up for a larger swing trade, for example, personally for those type of trades, I like to use 2bit as another option out there, another exchange that I also use. So I'll also make sure to leave a link to 2bit below the video, and if you use that link, I'll take you to this page right here, where you can also claim massive bonuses. For example, up to 10,000 USDT in trial fund bonuses and 8,000 USDT in withdrawable stablecoins, just by simply depositing and trading crypto using the link below the video to 2bit. And on top of that, without making any deposits or any trades, you can get a free 30 USDT trial fund bonus and 1 month free VIP3 upgrade. So basically very cheap trading fees and effectively free money from the exchange, just by simply making an account using that third link below the video to 2bit. So once again, if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well take advantage of these major bonuses here using the links below the video. And in case you're wondering, 2bit is also a no KYC exchange. But with that being said, taking a quick look at the Bitcoin dominance chart on the daily time frame, and right now the Bitcoin dominance is continuing to play out this bullish relief exactly as predicted. Obviously, continue to expect a bit more of a bullish relief as a very likely scenario in the Bitcoin dominance. And I've been saying that basically every day over the last 1 month or so. And so not much has changed over the last one day. This basically is telling us that a lot of the major altcoins on average will still likely be at least slightly underperforming Bitcoin. So doing a little bit worse, but quite similar to whatever Bitcoin is doing. And if we're taking a look at Ethereum on the 3-day time frame, right now the price of ETH is right on the lower end of this area of support, sitting in between 3.9k to 4.1k. So obviously we've not really seen a lot of confirmation confirming a break towards the downside here. Ideally, I'd like to see a 3-day candle close well below this point of support to actually confirm a break to the downside, and then of course see some sort of rejection or flipping that support into new resistance. That'll just be extra confirmation in that situation. But for now, at least as of recording the video, we've not really seen a lot of confirmation confirming the break below this area, which means it is still possible we could hold this as support. And if we're taking a look at the daily Ethereum price chart, we technically still have this bullish divergence not yet confirmed an invalidation signal, which means it's possible the price could just continue bouncing around relatively sideways in the short term is a very likely scenario, especially if Bitcoin does the same. And if we're zooming into the shorter term, taking a look at the 8-hour Ethereum price chart, we can see that right now the price of ETH is just bouncing around in this sideways price range between support and resistance. And so obviously we have this area of resistance, which we perfectly rejected from over the last few days, sitting in between around 40.60 to 4.1k. And we have this area of support, which we also pretty much perfectly bounced from over the last one day, and that's sitting in between around 37.20 to 37.60. So basically continue to expect the price of ETH to bounce around relatively sideways between support and resistance here in the shorter term, especially once again if Bitcoin does the same. And if we're taking a look at the price of Solana on the 2-day time frame, it's a similar situation for Solana in the short term, kind of relatively neutral in the immediate short term, but now retesting a crucial area here, sitting in between 190 to 200. And so obviously, at least for now, that area in between 190 to 200 is acting as resistance in the short term. And as for support, expect a lot of support in between roughly 170 to 175 as an area of support. And if we're zooming into the shorter term, taking a look at the 8-hour Solana price chart, we can see that right now and over the last one day, we technically have just confirmed one invalidation signal to invalidate this previous bullish divergence. And of course, over the last 2 days now on the channel, I've already been saying that we're getting close to seeing a breakdown in the RSI, which means don't really rely on the bullish divergence any longer. It already played its part very nicely here for a few days in the form of a short-term bullish relief. But with that being said, we also still have relatively horizontal lows while the RSI is still forming higher lows, which means it's possible the price could just continue bouncing around relatively sideways once again, especially if Bitcoin does the same. As always, a lot of these major altcoins will likely perform somewhat similar to whatever Bitcoin is doing. And so, for example, if Bitcoin is bouncing around sideways as it has been doing over the last few days, and if this continues, which will be likely just in the short term, then Solana will likely continue a little bit more choppy sideways price action as a likely scenario. And obviously this level right here is proving to be strong support at just above 175, around 176 to 177, also as a level of support to watch out for. And if we're taking a look at the price of XRP on the weekly time frame, we're still playing out this massive bearish divergence on the weekly time frame. So without wasting your time, not much has changed over the last one day on this chart. So getting straight into the daily XRP price chart, and right now as of recording the video, the price of XRP is now retesting and starting to possibly bounce from this area of support, the golden pocket sitting in between around $2.30 to $2.40. So obviously continue to expect support in that area, and if we were to see a confirmed break below that area with candle closes below that area, and especially if we failed to get back above that area, flipping it into new resistance, in that situation the next significant level of support towards the downside is at roughly $2.05. But in the meantime, once again, we're still finding support in between $2.30 to $2.40, and we also still have an active bullish divergence on the daily XRP price chart. And so once again, this is telling us that we're likely going to be playing out either a bit of choppy sideways price action or maybe just a very slight bullish relief as very likely outcomes, very common outcomes from a bullish divergence. So overall, in the immediate short term for the next few days, that's what I continue to expect moving forward. But keep in mind, this, at least for now, is happening during a larger bearish trend. Lower highs, lower lows, breaking below support, failing to get back above resistance. So for now, the larger price structure still bearish, but understand the difference between the different timeframes. Short term, expect a bit more of a sideways consolidation as a very likely scenario, but that's happening during a larger bearish trend, kind of like what we saw just here, for example. And if we're taking a look at the price of Chainlink on the daily time frame, it's a very similar situation for Chainlink as with what I just said for XRP, still technically within a larger bearish trend on the daily time frame, forming lower highs and lower lows, etc. But in the immediate short term, playing out a bit of a bullish divergence on this daily time frame. And so basically continue to expect a bit of choppy sideways price action as a very likely scenario in the immediate short term for the price of Chainlink. That is my exact prediction right now. And in terms of support and resistance to watch out for, obviously the price is kind of gravitating towards roughly 1750. So that's kind of acting as a bit of a magnet, both support and resistance. Obviously, price not really seeing major moves either side of that level. But right now, in terms of other points of support and resistance, we have this area of support in between around 1520 to 1570, and this area of resistance in between roughly 1950 to $20. And once again, if you want to trade any of these moves in the price of any crypto, like what I'm currently doing with my own money, making easy profits in the market, check out the links below the video to those exchanges if you want to claim the massive bonuses that are only available using those links. And if you want to actually know how you can trade crypto like what I'm currently doing, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.